He has won 10 out of his last 11 races. And of course, recently, he set a new world marathon record of 2 hours, 1 minute and 39 seconds. Our very own, our very celebrated hero of ours, the greatest of all time, GOAT. We celebrate him as Kenya. Here on K24 Sports Hub, we celebrate him as well. Of course, introducing 33-year-old Eliud Kipchoge. Karibu sana, Eliud. We are very happy you've made time. And of course, it's such an honor. I mean, you are all over the world in terms of your record. I mean, let's just start when you're finishing, looking at your watch at that particular tape when your people are celebrating you. What was going on in your mind?
Okay, thank you for welcoming me to K24. And I can say when I was crossing the finishing line, it's hard to describe, but I can say I was more than happy.
And I can see you hugged, there's a person you hugged and there was that smile. I'm sure you know that picture. Someone took a picture of you. You had your smile from ear to ear. I mean, explain that feeling. I'm sure it was very ecstatic.
Actually, I felt good, and the first person to hug was my coach. Actually, after realizing I broke the world record, then I just rushed to hug him to celebrate together the world record. The hard work he has been doing to us, to me and to the whole team, has been great. So it was actually crucial for me to celebrate with him.
Just not your coach alone who has contributed a lot to your triumph and to your breaking the record. There are so many other people you might want, of course, to talk about them, who they are and what they do for you.
There are a lot, unnumbered and unnamed, but I can say my coach contributed a lot. The management, global sports management. We have my sponsor Nike. We have our team and a company from Netherlands, Kwalanda. This deals with insurance. And my local actually promoter and Isuzu East Africa. They have been actually really good to me by providing a T-Max pickup for training for the last 1 year, and I've signed a 2-year contract now. I can say they actually give me the third leg. And above all, I have there's other coaches assisting Mr. Patrick, that's Coach Meta and Koech. All my teammates, I can say those are the people who actually made a big contribution to my record breaking. And not forgetting my family. They say they are unsung the heroes, but they contributed a lot.
Talking about your family, I mean, every day you wake up, and of course, you wake up, there's something that pushes you to do and go running every day. Besides your family, who are these people that push you? When you wake up in the morning, you want to go running because of certain people. Who are they besides your family?
My family and actually love of sport is ignition key in the morning, which wakes me up as I love the sport and my family.
You're saying that you are still in this race, you are still going to participate in marathons. Can you explain that? Of course, you're saying you're also going for the 2020 Olympics.
God willing, I will be actually in a starting line in 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games. That's God willing, and actually, but I break a world record, and more will come. So I'm just concentrating purely now on my recovery, and then go back again with to sit with my team. That's a technical team led by Patrick Sang, and plan for the year 2019.
How do you recover from a marathon? What do you do? Do you sit at home and watch television, or do you what do you do? What do you eat? Do you go for massage? Do you go for therapy? Do you go for holiday? What do you do as a marathon to recover very well?
First is that to recover well is you need actually to remove the lactic acid in your body. That's by doing massage. Just actually just to feel free and going out of the sport, not running purely. And that's what I'm using as a recovery, a massage and just a total rest.
You need to, give yourself a thank you. You need to pat yourself at the back. Relax tu kwa beach hivi kidogo.
When the time comes, I will go for an holiday. But for now, I still have to stay with my family, my wife and my kids. And that's my priority number one.
There are pictures of you in Kaptagat camp, and then there is a lady who works in the kitchen. I have pictures of you are in that particular kitchen, ile kitchen ya nyumbani. You know the way the kitchen, you can see dark places, zile sufuria na sahani. I mean, Kaptagat, I mean, that camp is very special to you. I mean, it molds an athlete inside out.
Our camp actually has traditions. Our camp actually is rich in morals. And I can say our team actually, we do everything in the camp. We mix with our chef, and we make food together. Personally, I'm doing everything for the sake of those who are still young, so that in future when we leave sport, then they will be doing the way I'm doing.
You've talked about that you don't run for money, that you run for results to inspire. That is very deep.
I always give an example that when you are in a sub-highway and you are actually speeding with more than 200 kilometers per hour, and instead of looking in front how the highway is, you are concentrating on the rear mirror. I think you will automatically get an accident just a few kilometers. That's what I mean is that when you actually have a money attitude, the mind which actually thinks of money, about money, then actually you cannot go anywhere. Yeah, that's the beginning of failure.
Your very close friend who enabled you to try and break the 2-hour barrier in Italy, apparently, our condolences, you said had passed away. How close and how special was him in trying to build you towards this particular record?
Wow, I can say I'm still in a denial that Sandy Potegas passed away. I got a message yesterday morning and some calls from all over the world, especially in America, that Sandy Potega passed away in his sleep in Bahamas when he was in holiday. I can say actually he's the man behind breaking 2. That's the race whereby I participated by trying to run under 2 hours, whereby I was purely successful to run 2 hours flat in marathon. I can say he's actually a judge. He's actually a human who is actually advocating for human endeavor. He was ready to take risks in everything. He was believing on me. He was believing in every sportsman who wants to try something whereby human beings cannot think that this is possible. I can say I am really passing my heartfelt condolences to the family of Sandy and whole Nike staff and all lovers of sport in the whole world.
Yeah, our condolences also from K24. What do you plan to do after athletics? After marathon, after you have achieved, because you have achieved it, and I'm sure you're going for more. You said you want to go 2-0. You have done 2:03, you've done 2:04, you've done 2:02. You said you have done now 2:01. You want to go 2:00.
I started my debut in Hamburg the year 2013, and I ran my first time at 2 hours 5 minutes and 30 seconds, which still stands as a course record in Hamburg. I tried my luck actually in Berlin the following year, and I was second when Kipchoge was breaking the world record by running 2:04.005. So I can say Germany has a very good, very flat courses, very good organizations. And above all, the crowd, actually, you can enjoy the crowd from the first kilometer to the last kilometer. That's it. They can push you by yelling around and giving you more morale. And if I can advise that if you want to run your personal best, if you have any plan to run fast in sport, then you can go to Berlin.
Now, an athlete is seated right back at home and wondering, I need to train like Eliud Kipchoge. Where do I train? How do I train? Who do I train with? What will you tell them?
My first advice is that all of us in the whole republic, we cannot train in the same place, but you can train everywhere. Kenya is a good country. Kenya is a very beautiful country with beautiful terrains, but that athlete who wants to train like me, they should associate actually with positive people. They should get a coach who not just the talent, who motivates the talent, who actually values the talent, and you will really be successful.
Athletes normally lose their hope when they're not being selected to represent the country in some games, but you you are such a role model. One time in 2012, you were not selected, but you did not lose hope. You went on. What, of course, gave you that motivation to keep the hope alive?
You see, if you want to enjoy the sport, then you need to accept to be defeated. Always there is one winner. And if you want to really enjoy the sport, you need to accept the defeat. If you don't accept defeat, then you are not enjoying the sport.
What are you going to plan? What are you doing after athletics? After you've won the gold and in the 2020 Olympics?
I don't know, but in future, actually, when I call it off the sport, I need to actually try to go all the country and all the world to actually advocate about the sport, to love the sport, and to actually tell people that apart from earning life in sport, then sport also can bring healthy.
My last question, do you ever feel butterflies when you're standing? Like you see when you're going for an exam, Eliud, umekaa kwa mtihani, you're there, there's normally that tension, there's that worry. When you're on that line, when the gun is about to go off, do you have butterflies? How do you deal with them, or don't you have them?
That's normal when you are in a competitions, like you are in an exam room. So butterflies is normal. But it's good to understand. I personally am understanding this race, and after the can, then butterflies can go, and then you concentrate on running.
Thank you very much, Eliud Kipchoge. Eliud Kipchoge, of course, you know, is the current, smashed the marathon world record, literally into pieces. And now, of course, Kenya will celebrate our champion, our hero, 33-year-old Eliud Kipchoge. We appreciate that you did us wonders. Thank you for making time on K24 Sports Hub. 10 out of 11, and he's still going for more exploits. Watch out for this name. We celebrate you. Kenyans do celebrate you. Thank you for making time. And of course, we always bring the special guests on this show. Thank you very much, Eliud. And of course, thank you to your team. Wacha waendelee kufanya kazi mzuri sana, sana, sana. Of course, we'll keep on bringing the people who matter in the world of sports.